Want to know what's happening in the magic story, but don't have time to read it yourself? I got you covered. Here's a quick TLDR of the story of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Kaito lives in the Imperial Palace of the Ganjo. Orphaned at a young age, he's never really felt like he's belonged there. He spends most of his childhood getting to places he shouldn't, like the kitchens, the rooftops, and the garden of the Emperor. Though unintentional, he met the Emperor in the garden and they quickly became friends. They try to keep this friendship secret, however, the Emperor's chief advisor, Lightpaws, quickly finds out about it. Kaito, being a stereotypical underachiever, is dragging his feet on choosing a career path, so Lightpaws makes the decision for him. Kaito is to become a warrior, and his sparring partner will be the Emperor. Kaito and the Emperor spend the next few years growing stronger in both friendship and power. Until one night, an alarm rings throughout the palace. Kaito rushes to the Emperor's quarters to protect her, but he arrives too late. The Emperor is gone. All he finds is a man using a device on Coyote, the kami spirit that watches over all of Kamigawa. Kaito attacks the man, but he runs away. Before he can give chase, Lightpaws and the royal guard arrive. They question him, but dismiss his report. This is the final straw for Kaito. He leaves the palace and sets out to find out what happened to his friend. 10 years have passed since the Emperor disappeared. During that time, Kaito's spark ignited, and he has traveled the multiverse searching for the Emperor. He returns to Kamigawa to meet with his sister. She tells him that his friend Tamshi was seen in the Undercity talking to a man with a metal arm. Kaito is hurt by the allegation, but has vowed to track down any and every lead involving the Emperor. Over the next few days, he has determined that his friend is hiding something. He travels to his friend's lab in the city of Otawara to find out exactly what. He rummages through Tamshi's files and belongings, but all he really finds is this strange jellyfish-like device. After failing to find anything in Otawara, Kaito tracks Tamshi to a warehouse. It is there that he discovers vile experiments being performed on captured kami. It is there that he also discovers Jin Gitaxian. Kaito sneaks in while Jin is trying to cover his tracks. Jin is disposing of the warehouse, the experiments, and anyone involved, including Tamshi. Jin leaves and Kaito is able to rush to his friend's side before he dies. Tamshi expresses regret for what he has done, and before he dies, he's able to give Kaito one last clue, just a name. Tezzeret. Kaito spent the weeks after Tamshi's death looking for any information on the man Tezzeret. His journey takes him to the Takanuma swamps looking for a boy named Nashi. After asking around in different villages in the swamp, he eventually is confronted by Nashi's adopted mother, Tamio. After some heated words, Tamio decides to at least hear Kaito out. Kaito tells Tamio that he's looking for the Emperor and he believes Tezzeret has something to do with it. In turn, Tamio tells Kaito about Tezzeret and the Wanderer. The night the Emperor disappeared, he used a device called the reality chip on Coyote. Coyote and the Emperor are linked, and Tezzeret using this device on the kami caused the Emperor's spark to ignite. However, the chip left the spark unstable, and she can't control where or when she planeswalks. Kaito remembers the strange jellyfish device in Tamshi's office, and concludes that must be the reality chip. He storms off to find the chip with or without Tamio's help. He arrives back at Otawara and manages to sneak back into Tamshi's old office. He steals the reality chip, but while trying to escape the city, he stumbles on a lab filled with kami bodies, shriveled experiments, and Jin Gitaxian. Jin sounds an alarm and Kaito is swarmed by guards. Kaito runs through the city evading the soldiers and mecha alike. Pursued by a dragon mecha, he tries to activate the chip. The mecha attacks, but the attack never lands. He turns around to see that he was saved by Tamio and his old friend, the Wanderer. Kaito, Tamio, and the Wanderer return to Ganjo. The Wanderer tries to heal Coyote by plugging the reality chip into her skin. Once in place, Coyote and the Wanderer both begin seizing in pain. Kaito rushes to the Emperor's side while Tamio goes to fetch Lightpaws. The Wanderer tells Kaito that the chip is letting her see inside Jin Gitaxian's mind. Jin has informed the rebel faction of the Emperor's return, and they move to attack the Imperial Palace. The three planeswalkers devise a counterattack on Jin Gitaxian's compound, with the goal of destroying whatever research he has gathered. Kaito and Tamio head back towards Otawara while the Emperor stays to protect the city. Kaito and Tamio make it back to the lab pretty easily, but it's a trap. All the research is gone and all that remains is Tezzeret and Jin Gitaxian. Kaito and Tamio are captured. Tezzeret explains they were experimenting on kami because it was the next best thing to what they really wanted, planeswalkers. The Wanderer, still seeing through Jin's eyes, sees her allies get captured. Using her bond with Coyote, she is able to planeswalk right to Jin's laboratory. Before anyone has time to react, she slashes Jin, taking him out of the fight. She then rescues her friends and they run off in pursuit of Tezzeret. Tamio manages to capture Tezzeret. They clear out the rest of Jin's minions, and it appears that they won the day. It was then that Tezzeret took control of the reality chip. Kaito is able to knock out Tezzeret, but the damage is done. The chip begins to destabilize the Wanderer's spark. Tamio manages to remove the chip from the Emperor, but she won't be able to stay on the plane forever now. With Tezzeret and Jin taken care of, the party finds a mech to take them back to a Ganjo to defend the city from the rebels. Only problem is, no one knows how to fly a mech, so Tamio does the only logical thing and plugs the reality chip into her skin. As they approach the city, Tezzeret regains consciousness. He manages to jump from the mech and make a run for it. Kaito and Tamio pursue Tezzeret while the Emperor fights off the rebels. Tezzeret sees that the reality chip is attached to Tamio and turns to fight. Tezzeret activates the reality chip, paralyzing Tamio. Kaito tries to save her, but is unable to reach her before Tezzeret activates the planar bridge and pulls himself and Tamio through the portal. Kaito returns to the Wanderer and they are able to quash the rebellion and capture the leader. After the fight, the Wanderer appoints Light Paws as regent. The Wanderer, unable to keep herself on the plane any longer, planeswalks away. Kaito leaves as well in search of Tamio. The story ends on New Phyrexia with the birth of what Jin had been working towards, the first Phyrexian planeswalker.